Do I have to be in the room for there to be audio? I'll find out by listening to my own audio over here. If that's what's going to happen. Do I
Do I
have
have
to
to
be
be
in the
in the
room
room
for there
for
to
there
be
to be
audio?
audio?
Yeah, so that's what's happening. So I guess I'm in the room now. So thanks for the feedback. And okay, so I will continue to try to figure out what is going on with my YouTube's over here. It's being weird. But we're going to listen to a podcast if nobody joins in. I sent out links to a bunch of people via emails, and then anybody's a human that wants a link over on Gun Channels, we have a way to send instant messages over here on Gun Channels. So I can send you a link to the duck, and that would let you in here. And we've got links out there to way more people than the duck can hold. But it's a workshop, so we're here to provide a place, a room, a time, a place, a setting for conversation for 2A media. So ideally, if someone's in need of assistance and someone has skill set or ability to offer some assistance, then this facilitates that. Let's see, do that look different? Makes a difference. Okay, so now I'm going to try to go back over to YouTube. I'm going to refresh YouTube and see some people are showing up. Just tidying things up here. My computer is not very huge, so it's not loving these new broadcast streaming systems or whatever they're called. I'm using the Duck today, and there we go. I can finally get my YouTube to work, and I don't know if this is making any effect at all on the what do you call it, on the audio at all. But now I can actually be logged into YouTube and not logged into YouTube, which was kind of weird because I'm only logged in. I was only logged into YouTube via the Duck over here. So this is the Duck, and this is the YouTube. So you people are saying stuff, and I'll be able to see it over here on the text chat. And like I say, I send out links to maybe 42 people today in the 2A community, 2A media, people that are worth something, that are doing stuff out there. And again, they might have something to offer, something and something to ask, and this can be a means to facilitate some of that. There's a couple of things we can talk about that I mentioned in the emails that I sent out today. Kingpin or Dead Horse, if you guys want a link, I can send it to you over here on Gun Channels. Both of you are verified humans, I believe. We're going to talk about Clover's 4-hour event this Friday. Unprecedented effort to bring light to the industry and gun rights policy conference, which is coming up at the end of September. Of course, we could talk about that. September is fast approaching, and it's an opportunity to have another Every Second Matters. And I think there's lots to talk about there. Then we got the massive efforts that are going on in Massachusetts. Massive anti-gun efforts happening there tomorrow. Is it, am I wrong? 68 anti-gun laws going in tomorrow at 10 a.m. And then we've got the 2A History Project, which is some of the tabs I have open here. Then finally, Liberty Doll. I don't think I have her video open, but over on Patreon, she was saying or asking or doing something on Patreon, and one of the posts, or at least one of the comments in the post, led to her asking questions about websites, and specifically WordPress, but websites in general. And websites really shouldn't be anything for us anymore. Websites should be like email addresses where everybody just has one, puts very little effort into dealing with it, has one that works for them as a useful tool like a screwdriver or a hammer, and we can move on from there. So we could definitely talk about websites tonight or today or this afternoon, whatever it is for people. So again, if no one joins in live, that's fine. If nobody wants to be part of a conversation, I still have work to do, so I'll do that, and I will play a podcast. This one is Carrie Sloan from We the Female is on with Riding Shotgun with Charlie. And I haven't listened to this. I think it just came out moments ago. It's today the 27th? Yes. So this came out moments ago. It's got 8 views. I'll refresh it. It probably has a few more by now. But whenever I first started the show here, it only had 8 views. And that's what we'll listen to. Since I don't need to.
Riding shotgun refers to the practice of sitting next to the driver.
But if somebody jumps in, we'll pause it and chat with them.
Came around after the times of Stagecoach, when somebody used to sit next to the driver holding a shotgun in case they ran into bandits. My name is Charlie Cook, and I drive the state. I like to do this while I drive holding a shotgun in case they ran into bandits. Welcome to Riding Shotgun with Charlie. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to this episode of Riding Shotgun with Charlie. First, I want to say thank you guys for watching, sharing, and subscribing, and all of that sort of cool stuff. Today, we are in, I think it used to be called the City of Brotherly Love. And I heard it was the City that loves you back. I don't know if that's special. But we are in the home of Rocky Balboa, Philadelphia. We're here with Carrie Sloan. Carrie, thanks for being on the show.
For having me on the show.
I am so glad to finally get you on the show. So, we talked about working this out a few months ago. But
Yeah, being in Seattle makes it a little difficult playing all this stuff on the East Coast. So I haven't been doing other projects.
No, it's the co-host, so we're on our way. Awesome.
It's like I'm on a 15.
On a break.
I think she's a security guard. She's on a 15.
Right.
So we
No, she is. All right, anyway, we're going to talk about Carrie and how she got into the gun rights movement and all of the stuff. I've been doing my research on you.
Yeah,
On my way down.
So tell me what is the most interesting thing that you found about me?
I'm going to be a little scared. No, you really do.
Very intimidate you, Charlie. It wouldn't be the first time I've heard it. It wouldn't be the first time I've heard it, so story of my life.
No, this is totally cool. This is fun. So you've only been in the gun rights activist side of things for a short while. You've been a small biz owner, and you had a little bit of domestic violence in the past, which brought you to where you are.
Kind of, sorry. I mean, yes, in the marathon.
In the grand scheme of things, right. So let's talk about that. So you growing up shooting. Yes, no, once in a while, wasn't a big thing.
Once in a while, we had guns everywhere.
Where'd you grow up?
My Southern California. I was actually born in Georgia. Raised in Southern California, but raised by a grandfather who was, straight Wild West. He was born and raised in Odessa, Texas. Had to leave the area because of some questionable business practices. My grandfather was quite the pioneer of his day. He was one of the first
Topless dancers? Your grandfather was
he wasn't. He owned the bars. I'm talking, back then it was like the 60s and the whole thing. So he was quite the maverick in his day. I have no idea where I get it. But so, well, that's here. Those are not really pasties. They're actually what were considered pasties then, that almost considered bikinis now. From the 50s and 60s.
Right.
So, because, I don't know where that, changed.
You know what? I blame a lot of stuff on Elvis. Because, like the parents in the 50s used to say, Elvis, he's out there shaking it, and I think after that, it just became, everything became more acceptable, you have to accept it, and if you don't accept it, it sound like a grandpa, and
I guess, that's going to be a whole different writing, I think, because I could go on, I big on educating and what feminism is, but that to get into its own.
Yeah, let's do that.
you're gonna want to hear it though, because it's actually pretty cool. Just saying. But I've got a whole theory connected to it. From Rosie the Riveter concept and how we evolved.
Wow.
Yeah.
All right.
We'll talk about that later.
So, you get a little bit of entrepreneur.
So that's where I got all that from. But anyway, so I digress. So he loves guns always.
Yeah, this is Carrie Sloan from We the Female, and I want to say something else. But this is just posted like an hour ago, not that long ago. And we're only about 5 minutes in. They barely introduced the show and got started. And I think they're driving in like Boston. I wasn't paying attention when they said where they were.
There was always a
You can hear it okay, I'm guessing?
loaded Colt revolver on his nightstand. All the rifles were in the kids' bedroom, in the trailer, in the desert, and not locked. You know, we just made use of this. That's the disconnect. I think that's really been made, is that we've come to a point where it's, this culture of fear has been perpetuated and
Yeah, still at those
and I think
shotguns.
intentionally
Yep.
cultivated. Not controlled, but, yes, I wear aluminum foil, but oftentimes I'm like, really? Because it's really around my house, but clearly, that's just getting, getting to be.
Right.
So, and we stopped teaching that responsibility and educating our kids in responsibilities of it, as opposed to, just teaching you to be afraid.
Yeah.
It is a big thing. So, so I had guns around my entire life.
I probably got this fan going. If I turn that fan off, does that help?
Yeah.
Wasn't a lifestyle.
Right. It's just something to do. Gotcha. So you did that when you were young, and you became older, got into other stuff.
I better pause for this. This looks important.
From the Investigation Department of Social Security Administration. This is to inform you that your Social Security number is being suspended, and there is an arrest warrant being issued under your name. To talk to an officer, press 1. I repeat, to know more about the case, press 1.
Let me press the right button here. I didn't think I'd get arrested when I started the show, this live show, but I guess my social security, everybody knows now, my social security number has been recalled. They're going to arrest me. I pressed the wrong button, I think, but I'm sure they'll call right back to arrest me. The red bag goes red flagged. First one to get red flagged on a live show, I guess. IRS flagged. Somebody had to do it.
I assume you had a career in college and.
I found, so my gifts, again, coming from my mother, I have a really good business sense. And I'm gifted with the ability to create opportunity in Las Vegas. So I was going to college, actually, as a political science major, to be an attorney. Big on the Constitution, big on American history, like to geek levels. I geek out about it. And but found, so I wanted to pay, I needed to pay my way for college because I grew up very, very, very poor. Drug addicts. I mean, I watched Cops. I look like I grew up, like dog chained up in the front yard, Budweiser cans stuck in tumbleweeds, in the front yard. This is my life right now. So, I needed to pay my way for college, and so I, at the time, we were able to date myself, check the whole line. Minimum wage was $4.25.
Okay, I'm going to date myself. When I worked, minimum wage was $3.35, and I try to tell my kids they should really enjoy the money that they're making.
I know, but you're probably about the same. I'm 45.
I'm a little older.
I just turned 45. Thank you. About a month ago.
Cool.
No, I guess it wasn't. I guess it was just a few weeks ago. It feels like it's been a month ago. Stop.
It's been a long time.
People.
It's been a long month.
It has been a long 2 weeks. It's been a long 2 weeks of a month. So anyway, I wanted to make more money than a minimum wage job. Sure. So I went to college and went to school to become a nail technician. Ended up finding that I had to practice to get good at the technical piece of it, which I am very good at.
Yeah.
But the business head. That's when I realized that was there, and I was able to cultivate that and turn it into,
That's cool.
where 20 fast forward 25 years later, I never went back to college because I was making more money as a nail technician than attorneys were at that time. And, so you want to talk about other writing? I mean, it's not necessarily gun related, but the whole thing about trade schools.
We're here to talk about you.
Well, the trade school thing, I'm big. I love micro for promoting the trade school thing because I laugh at, the people. I get people constantly in my, day spa. Well, when that's what you're doing, they kind of have an owner, right? Then I'm cool. But when I'm just a nail tech, you can help, right? Well,
Right.
that sounds like you know what I mean? They don't realize it. It has nothing to do with sitting there doing the nail. It's the business as the whole. It's the business and understanding it. So, the advantage of that is with advocacy. I'm learning how to cultivate not so much like business-wise, because for those of you watching this, y'all are going to get rich doing an advocate. Just know that. That's not happening. There are ways to create opportunity around being an advocate to help monetize what you do. But for me, that's literally what I do. Everything that I'm working for to monetize is strictly because I'm self-funded, like you, with our projects.
Right.
So it's all with 100% going to the nonprofit.
Cool. Having a business sense is it's a good thing. I was a school music teacher and I can play a bunch of instruments.
It's cool.
Yeah, it's cool. I don't know what side of the road to drive on, so you need a little bit of something else.
Hey, my husband can parallel park a 1,400-foot-long aircraft carrier. Can't parallel park a car. We all have our skills. We all have our saying.
This is true.
We all have our talents. This is not parking the car.
So yeah, it's good to have a business sense, and you're using that for your.
Yeah, you can use it. I mean, it's kind of like you're talking about the history thing, right? You have history, but if you know how to create opportunity from behind it, there's lots of things that you do to work.
That's cool. Cool. So, what was the turning point for you? What was the incident for you that made you start to become a gun gal and less of a
beauty queen?
I don't want to say less of a beauty queen, obviously.
Thank you very much. Maintenance is different. Providing that for us, maintain though.
High maintenance is different.
I make beauty. I created a beauty queen. I found a beauty queen. It was my job to help find the beauty queen.
That's what they paid for.
All kidding aside, that's actually true, and there is something to that.
Oh, sure. Oh, yeah.
So interestingly enough, my domestic violence incident that ended up becoming the voice later was actually years ago. It was about 12, 13 years ago. But recently, so I'm from Washington State, for people that do not know who I am, and now you do, and you won't forget. But it's they just, if you're in the gun culture at all, you've heard about 1639. It is one of the most restrictive laws.
Where they say everything, including a Ruger 1022, was an assault weapon. Yeah.
So there's essentially what that law did, or what it was, is a bunch of crap that was thrown into one giant initiative, and they sat on it. So basically everything that had failed, every gun law that had failed for so many years, they threw into one big bill and sat on and waited for something to happen after Parkland. That bill was introduced, gosh, I don't think it was 2 weeks maybe later after Parkland.
Right.
Which that itself should tell you something, right? And it's really poorly written because it's very disjointed among other things, which also is the clarification this is what it was.
Right. The things that let me know, I always tell people that non-gun people make laws on guns.
Right, well, that too. And, Bob Ferguson and Jay Inslee, I'm looking at you too. The little ones. I see it. I want to. There's a lot of room. Because I don't want Charlie to get demonetized or put poop over my mouth. This is like a compliment that he likes to do.
So we could put a hot dog.
Yeah, because putting a hot dog over a woman's mouth is a great idea, Charlie. For F's sake, Charlie. That's exactly the thing to do. are you trying to say, Charlie?
Oh, which by the way, Maj just taught me because I was here visiting him. And working on a project with him. Yes, don't call,
they call them slushies here. Well, on the East Coast or West Coast call them Slurpees. That's not the same thing in Philly.
So I grew up in the Midwest. A Slurpee is a slushy that, I think a Slurpee is a slushy you get at 7-Eleven, but everything else
Right, it's an icy.
is an icy, right.
But in Philly, a Slurpee is exactly what you're thinking it is. So
Oh
let's
my!
talk about Slurpees in Philly, particularly North Philly. I got that. Yeah.
Right.
So don't.
Okay.
Anyway, I digress. I'm telling you, that's what I learned.
So I'm trying to get my show across the country. I'm trying to use the phrase to get stagecoach across the country.
Well, and now you know.
So now this is educational for people all over the country.
Before you come to Philadelphia,
Don't ask for a
don't ask for a Slurpee or you're going to go to jail. Or if you're going to
Right.
jail. Maybe it's a Slurpee. So anyway, so they put this all together. There's lots of different random disjointed pieces to it, which is also the education. So one of them being their definition of what an assault rifle is, to which they piggyback that afterward, and we get to that in a minute. But so that was one piece of it. Required. There were so many pieces of it, and I'm sure I'll remember those because I've read that thing so many times. The big one that threw me into it is your application to purchase a firearm now is an automatic waiver of your medical record, including your health, your mental health record.
Wow.
So essentially, a HIPAA violation
Right.
is what it is. So so a lot of people think, well, that's great. We're going to get hands out of, we'll keep guns out of the hands of, depressed people or emotionally unstable people, whatever. Go ahead.
Keep going.
So this is what they're missing with that. So just for the sake of argument, let's use that. I play devil's advocate. Okay, great, you're right. We're going to be able to see people that have a history of depression, a history of anger, domestic violence, whatever. Okay, fine.
Yep.
What they're not getting is it's not so much how it's written, is how it's not written. So not written into this law was no criteria for what they're going to search for, no criteria for what will be approval or denial, no structure on medications and what that looks like. I have a friend that had a double mastectomy,
Right.
and it was she had to have that breast cancer, which was due to genetic reasons. Well, the medication that she now takes is it's classified as an antidepressant, even though it's a hormone regulator. So because there's no criteria for what they're going to approve or deny and how and why and so on. If they're just looking at a list of classified antidepressants, she should get denied the purchase of firearm, along with smoking.
Yeah.
Some of the smoking cessation drugs and that type of thing. It's the same thing.
This is what I wanted to say. I was listening to you say this on one of the other, doing my research. And I wanted to say, you said, well, your friends on this, or you were talking with someone, and they said, well, of course we want to have all these people. Well, here's the scoop. If you were on this medication, that's you.
Right.
You are now one of those people who are prohibited because of.
If you've ever been on one, right? Ever. Because the way that's written is it doesn't say, oh, if you've been off for 5 years or you've been, there's no criteria. So, I mean, does Mildred, forget to change her hormone patch and she's pissed off the day that she looks at your thing because she works for the health authority. Right? Because the health authority gets to check this. So who the hell are the health authority? They don't even have that defined. Who are they? So, you have Mildred pissed off her husband and changed her hormone patch or whatever. And she's, this lady, that said, she doesn't make sense because she's crazy, right? I mean, we don't know because there's nothing there to define it.
Right.
So for me, I did what I was supposed to do as a DV survivor, and I went through therapy for it. Was diagnosed with PTSD. PTSD, if you are involved in any way in guns whatsoever, you know that is a huge, well, they use it as a weapon, right? It's the button, right? It's a big talking point button right now for denial of firearms, particularly for veterans and, some of the stuff that's going on with them.
Right.
and then, but they don't tend to really address some of the other reasons that people have PTSD, for example.
Lots of domestic violence victims have had lots of domestic violence victims have depression.
Yeah.
Or had been living with it and had been, right before they got out of their situations. If they in fact did, they were dying of, in other words, you aren't necessarily, before you diagnose yourself with depression, make sure you're not living with an asshole.
Because, right,
that's
often, so we don't see that, right? Because as a rape victim, it's psychological long before it becomes physical, and then that adds to it. So they end up on these meds and stuff long before they even realize that it's actually abuse in some cases, and then now that's on their record too. Here's the other kicker, and I talked to Mike Zini from Block Out America about this, right? Because he's been on destigmatizing mental health thing. Big fan of that. Here's the kicker that he and I were talking about, and he didn't even necessarily make that connection right away. You're now sitting in a situation, if you force that mental health background check, the way that Washington wants to do it, you're now going to have victims not going to get the treatment that they need because they don't want it on their record,
Right.
and then be stigmatized. So the very thing that everybody in America, I mean, even pro-gun control people talk about it. We need to fix the mental health problem. But this is actually going to continue to perpetuate people not getting the help they need.
Right.
And that's a huge, huge problem. So prior to the election last year, I got involved at grassroots level in my community, speaking to people. And when I say that, you're not going to walk into a giant group of people that are emotionally charged and change them. That's not how you do it. You have to do it one person at a time, 2 or 3 people at a time.
Right.
And I literally started in my day spa, with the women sitting across from me and changing paradigms and working that way. Using my voice in, among small groups of people, my coffee group, and I was active on a micro level, grassroots level, and when it passed big. I think it was 17 points or something, because people didn't read it. And they, fun fact, for those of you that never read it though, there's a reason behind it, they don't want
Right.
They write those things incredibly convoluted, and they use all that legal speak and jargon so that you don't actually make the effort to read it. November 7th, I went to social media and I said, for those of you that didn't read that and you voted for it, let me tell you what you just did. And I put it out there, and the women, oh my gosh, I had no idea, and I didn't realize it. And I said, I know you didn't because you didn't bother to read it. Or if you read it, you thought this sounds great, but you didn't understand the connection to these levels, right? Well, this piece sounds good, but this piece sounds good, but did you relate ABC to XYZ and how it's going to be impacted? They didn't think about those things. So I had just a flood of, DMs and, text messages from friends. I had no DMs, so sorry, thank you for speaking out. I'm like, but it's too late, like, you guys blew it,
Right.
Well, I didn't read it. I said, I know. So I shared it, and then several people tagged Chloe Moore in it. This is how quick my learning curve has been, not just in the gun culture, quote unquote, right? But social media too, right? I'm relate, right? I'm like learning all this content creation, all this, right? So I put on Instagram, he shared it. So Chloe Moore shared it.
Wow.
Don't because I don't know my phone. I'm like, oh, that's sweet of you to say. That's great. Thanks. And
Who's this guy?
well, I knew who he was, right? Because I'm a gun. I've always been a pro. I'm a constitutionalist. I hate political parties. Despise them. And so one of my big pieces that has kind of evolved from being a 2A advocate is into, understanding the division between the parties. And y'all, the left and right, y'all are both equally as bad. So I'm going to tell you that right now. And you don't even come at me because y'all are wrong about that. So because you need to stop thinking left and right, start thinking American. Okay? Because that's how they're intentionally keeping you divided. We'll give you that. But anyway, so it got shared. And I just was lost. And people were like, this is great. Good for you. How can we help support you? I'm like, what the hell is going on? So I'm trying to say thank you and respond to people. And if you have Instagram, it keeps refreshing faster than I can keep up. And I went up to my daughter and I threw her the phone and said, what is going on? Is there some glitches? Because you kept it, because it'll like,
Yeah, this is Carrie Sloan. So I don't know if that's concealed carry. It's somebody else, I think. This is stilettos and shotguns, or we the female.
Almost like pops, right?
Want a link? I think I emailed you one. Welcome to jump in. This is I'm using the duck here. I don't know how well it's working, but got the workshop here. Working on a site over here, just doing some tidying up, working on maintenance type of stuff, getting the 2A history project as much as I can get. I keep looking at the calendar, trying to do some stuff before gun rights policy. Don't know if that's going to work out or not, but so anyway, still working on a little bit of maintenance stuff over here and opening up a room for if anybody wants to talk about 2A media subjects. We can get better doing our jobs so that we don't just have windows to what happens in 2020 during the election cycle. We don't just have microphones and cameras representing 2A media, but ideally 2A media is what the free press is all about and helps to inform and educate and coordinate and hone and make more efficient our community. At least we've got that potential, and that's what this workshop's effort towards sending out a bunch of emails. People are welcome to join in, and we'll go for a bit. This show is going to be an hour, so if nobody jumps in that hour, they'll give us some indication of who's interested or not. But again, if you're interested in the link, we can get you a link over on Gun Channels here using the instant message feature. Go like this, grab the link, drop it in the instant message like this, and then you'd be able to jump in and join in too.
Like it'll to refresh itself, and I'm just like, what's going on? And she said, Mom, what the hell did you do? What did you share? And I said, I don't. And so she went and she got said, oh, this guy. Oh, Mom, this guy shared your post. She goes, who is he? Right? Because he had like 400,000. It's like, I don't know what to do. So that was kind of hi, intro to social media. Yeah, so I wasn't, some big, known person other than this little post. And outside my little world, in my small town. And but I'm an opportunist. And I speak on opportunity. And fun fact, particularly for ladies, because the word opportunist is often a negative stigma, particularly for women. And reclaim your opportunities, because that the minute you embrace that and don't see it as a negative thing, then you can really start to see great things happen, because you can start viewing the world and everything around you as an opportunity to create, as opposed to it being a stigma of, trying to take advantage of somebody in a negative way.
Right. Well, here's the scoop. I mean, we take advantage of everybody for whatever, and we hope it's. I mean, ideally, it's
right. Is it mutually beneficial? You want to make sure that you're doing those things that create positivity. Being opportunist is positive, not negative. But particularly with women, there's been a stigma of the word opportunist. She really loved it. She used whatever it worked to advance herself because she's an opportunist, right? But that's a whole other conversation. But that, it definitely affects women. Yeah. Just like women are bossy men are leaders. That actually happens a lot. You'll see that. That's actually been proven. They've got, and I'm sure that there's some alt-right nutty job out there. There's some alt-right nut job that'll probably watch this and talk about it. Don't pull that crap on Charlie's comments. But unless you want to come at you, you don't want that. So I won't embarrass you in front of your friends. So I knew that there was an opportunity. I just didn't know what it was at that point in terms of advocacy. So my nonprofit, I had already started forming. And I was just kind of sitting quiet on because it was going to be my retirement plan. I was looking at a couple of years, being able to pick and cultivate it the way I wanted to. And I jumped right into it along with advocacy. Because I had this voice that needed to be heard. And a few weeks after I spoke out about this, I was contacted by a pretty prominent activist, just a libertarian.
Oh shit, I gotta do this survey to look at this page. How about
So that was
stupid website, shithead.
2 months-ish after me speaking out on November 7th.
7th.
Yeah.
Now I'm a professional, I've been a professional speaker and have been for years, teaching not only within my own profession, but outside, I speak at women's conferences and things as well. So, sure, speaking was the thing. I got a little frustrated with lack of data for domestic violence victims. Interesting on the program side. So that's an interesting thing, but and discouraging, frustrating thing to find, which only fueled me more to kind of get involved with this, to give them a voice. But yeah, so that's kind of how I got thrown in, and then Ken Scott from Rebecca's group, that butthole. It was an incident that happened. Anyway, long story short, Ken said he needed to go shot show. What the hell is shot show? What is this?
Right.
Well, for those of you that have seen the movie Step Brothers, you know that wine mixer at the end?
Right.
That I can't use that word here?
Right. Right.
Shot show is that for gun
For
folks.
gun folks, it is.
It was one of the craziest things that I've been to some pretty big conventions. So, where right before we got there, somehow I somehow ended up getting followed and me following. I don't even know how to have a Cheryl talk.
Cheryl
Talk
Radio.
Radio.
From Good
Free Radio. She's gonna laugh when she sees that too. So I was just with her actually this morning. So she sent me a message, and I was one of the first video because they're going to TV as opposed to radio. So she interviewed me on video. So she was my first industry, culture, community, whatever you want to call it, interview.
Awesome.
And that just kind of, I was introduced by her and several other people.
So this is not WordPress. This is Every Second Matters, and you can see that because it's a membership thing, we got to deal with abuse. We got to deal with spam and illicit crap. So every time I log in, a couple of days or so, I have to go through and see who's new and if they're immediately abusing the site, like these two, or if they're unknown. I guess you don't know. Assume they're going to abuse the site, but they might not. So gonna first delete these. Came over here to add Sportsmen's Alliance of Maine to Every Second Matters, but like a lot of things, when you go to do something, you find out another task that needs to be done. So first I need to figure out where these people came from in the world and make it so that no one from that part of the world can come back to Every Second Matters. And that's one of the ways that we defend against having massive abuse. So good abuse, just not as massive. All right, now I can get rid of these two, and that'll take them and all of their content, whatever spam they put on here, that'll get rid of it. And then we can make sure that they, along with all these other portions of the world, never come back to Every Second Matters again. And then we can go back to Every Second Matters, do what we were going to do, which was to include the Sportsmen's Alliance of Maine.
To individuals, and I've been on podcasts and just started kind of getting my voice out there. And I think one of the things that helps support that, getting my voice out there, is because I'm not the delicate, quiet, classy flower. If you follow me on social media, you know that. If you don't, you're going to be ready to find out really quick.
Right.
So, and I've even been attacked by women more than men. Yeah, because I'm a feminist, and I understand actually what real feminism is. There's a lot of conservative women that are very pro-choice that tend to lean that way.
Sure.
That I received DMs telling me that, I realize that you're a feminist, and you're jaded because of that. That maybe you just don't realize how harsh you're coming across. And I said to one of them, I said, you literally voted for a president that is worse than me. But it's okay because he's an man.
Right.
But why did you vote for him? Because he didn't care and he gets hurt.
because he didn't care and he gets heard. That's the big thing. That's what's getting heard. It's like, do you follow Marshall? I mean, it's kind of the same concept, right? Katie, he's a friend of mine.
Yep.
That, it's that nice wasn't working.
Yes.
And we've come to a culture, literally, with social media and things, that's the subtlety of working.
Oh my God, we're gonna take a call.
Yeah, we are.
Yeah.
Hey, Amy!
Hello, caller, you're on the air.
Who's in the car?
I have Cherry Sloan with me, and we are actually filming.
Oh,
I was with Amy this morning.
We're filming.
All right.
So you guys are filming right
We're filming
now?
a show, and you're going to be in it.
So am I getting
Yes.
awesome.
So, long time no see, how's the family?
So listen, so God's watching one of your things right now too.
Uh-oh.
Hi, Cheryl.
She's watching the spoon video that Amanda
Oh.
and
I cannot wait to see this.
That's awesome.
real quick, did you want to make reservations? We have an extra room if you want to stay at the hotel.
Oh, I do have some. I got a place in Maryland to stay.
Okay, we just wanted to double check. We didn't know we had an extra room. We had someone cancel last minute, so.
Oh man, no, I got a place. I already paid for it.
Okay. You should.
All these women, look, Charlie, look at all these women. Hey, Charlie,
You want to stay at the hotel?
I'm good, Charlie. You're never gonna get a good woman doing this crap.
I know.
Honestly.
So, dating advice.
God, Charlie.
I know, right?
See, and it's not just because he's single. I'm not here.
Bitch about it, but I'm kind of happy.
Charlie, do you want to stay at the hotel?
We're all the chicks.
Charlie, all the chicks are staying at the hotel. And they're offering you a room, Charlie.
Oh,
Oh, I'm
Who's in
sick.
the car? Is it just
It's just me.
it's
I'm
just
just that
Cherry.
loud.
She's that loud and she talks that much.
You know that.
It sounds like 3 women in the car.
Those are all my different personalities.
Right, she's like Sybil.
A little bit. She's helping me this morning.
We had a really good conversations this morning.
We did. Yeah, we did. Which ended up becoming a heated conversation with my husband and I later because.
Oh my.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, I didn't know it was good, but it was just, because he's got a whole different perspective on all this, right? Because I don't know if y'all know this, but he didn't know that I got, like this, he was deployed. When my post went, I don't know, technically viral, I don't think it was that big, but, when
When it started happening.
when everything started happening, he was deployed, and I didn't get to talk to him for 5 weeks.
Wow.
Yeah, so then he emails me because he's just at the beginning of his deployment.
Mhm.
So how's things been going? Well, so, and I can't tell him everything for lots of reasons, security reasons, sometimes email, whatever. And I can still tell him, but until he sees it,
Mm.
that's
Yeah.
a whole different thing.
Yeah.
And the last speech that I gave in April, he happened to be in France. I mean, it was literally divine almost the way the whole thing kind of came up because he had gotten back in his hotel room and the Wi-Fi finally came up after having trouble all day.
Mhm.
And he had created an Instagram account just to see what I've been doing and saw that I was going live. And was able to watch my first speech.
Oh, that's
And so afterward, he emailed me, I had no idea, I'm really proud of you. And I said, well, that's great. But I mean, I told him, I told you, you're literally not going to get this to this level
right.
until you see it because it's like, this is what's going on. And so this is his first thing where he's jumped into all this and is really absorbing it all. But
It's a different world.
it is a different world. And so he and I butted heads a little bit about it this morning. And interestingly enough, though, but his perception is something I think of value. Like me coming into this, right? I didn't know this culture existed.
Right.
A year ago, and 9 months ago, I didn't even know it existed. So I was gunner, big gunner, a big supporter of 2A. But this whole world, like y'all got like a whole thing going on. I didn't understand that. And so he gets to a certain degree being military, but he doesn't like get it on. I'm like, I don't think you get it at the level and the layers of this.
Right.
So which for good for the better and the worse, right? Because there's good and bad. Anyway,
Sure.
so we talked about Amy and the ladies talked about, and Dave, Shaky Dave was there.
I'll talk about it. I don't want to marginalize Dave as one of the ladies. So, yeah, so it was a really good conversation.
Cool.
Well, let's go ahead and get back to it.
All right. This is so I like to put out a little teaser. This is definitely going to be one of the teasers for the show.
Nice.
When I do the
Yeah, you never know what happens when you're riding shotgun with Charlie.
It's
I
true. Hey,
love
say that
that.
again. What was that? How'd that go again?
Say it one more time.
You never know what's going to happen when you ride shotgun with Charlie.
That is right.
Or no, when you're riding. Let me say that again. You never know what's going to happen when you're riding shotgun with Charlie.
Yes, as opposed to riding Charlie shotgun. That could be awkward.
So that
That would get edited.
That's different. That's a different YouTube channel.
It is.
right.
Is it really YouTube or is it another thing that all the guns go to? For American to come on YouTube, right? There's that whole, that you something, that's right. You what was that? Make sure you use DuckDuckGo when you visit.
Text me when you get down here. And if we're out and about, you know.
All right, sounds good.
Otherwise, we'll try to come up with a time for tomorrow.
Sounds awesome. I appreciate it.
Okay, welcome. Talk to you later.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Bye.
That was totally kick-ass.
That was great. Oh my god, that was super funny. Yeah, just better for the first time in person this morning.
Oh,
The conversation we had was, without getting hours into drama. So what I come to find is I do advocacy out, trying to get the word out about how some of these laws are affecting women. But I being new to all of this and seeing everything with fresh eyes, I see some of the negatives along with positives that are actually in the gun culture itself. And one of the biggest ones being the fragments, right? Because there's the competition shooters, there's the content creators,
Oh,
there's
yeah.
advocates, and they don't all get along. Or something they don't get along, they just don't.
I like to say this. I say not all gun owners are not created equally. Because some people are, like I've met people that want to carry concealed that have no desire to hunt. People that hunt don't want to carry concealed. You have offensive shooters, you have competitive shooters. It's
And they all can't get along. And so I have found myself falling into advocacy within the culture itself. And the last speech I gave in April, the one my husband went to, that was one of the things they wanted me to speak on TV. And I was like, yeah, I'm going to roll on this one. So I got up there and I said, look, I can tell, there was 1,800 people. I can tell y'all all day long why gun control is bad. You know it. This is an echo chamber right now.
right.
So instead of talking to you about this, I want to have a conversation with y'all about something that is actually going to affect these gun laws going into place much bigger. I said the gun control activists have one strong, solid marketing plan. And they've all been coached in it, and they know what they're doing. The gun culture and the pro-gun side does not have that. It's fractured. It's, the new term I've learned last few months was the fuzz, right? As opposed to the tacticals and the these people and the advocates and all this kind of stuff. And there's all of these fragments and this lack of cohesiveness. So I interviewed Corinne Motorshing. I had a great conversation about that actually. And I sometimes I say really, really things that come out of my mouth as I'm running it. And one of them was like it's pieces of a quilt, right?
Yeah.
You have all these patches, which is very American, right? Fun fact, because you don't know that quilts were made in America. We're actually into America. By sewing circles from the village. So told you, whole it's a whole thing. It is a whole thing. But so they so you've got all these beautiful patches, right? These squares, as the modern culture call them. And if we could just stitch that together and make one gorgeous quilt, it's going to be very strong, very beautiful, very powerful. But they can't do it.
Right.
And it makes me crazy. So, and the thing that's interesting is that the more people I talk to, in all these different individual things. They're like, you're right, we need to get together, but nobody's moving forward to do it. So,
I feel like Rodney King.
dude, you need to get your entitled lack of situational awareness ass up away, and your kid run out there. This is great. So this is what we female teachers is how not to be that guy.
Right. He should take the with a female class.
He should take the with a female class. Seriously, he's about to give a hood ornament on this car.
I got a camera on the roof.
Sometimes you just have to look at her.
Yes.
Moving forward to do it.
I
So,
feel like Rodney King.
dude, you need to get your entitled lack of situational awareness ass up away, and your kid run out there. This is great. So this is what we female teachers is how not to be that guy.
Right. He should take the with a female class.
He should take the with a female class. I mean, that dude, like, seriously, he just got to give a hood ornament on this car. That was.
I got a camera on the roof.
Sometimes you just have to look at her.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm just saying let social Darwinism take just do its thing.
So there's a lot of echo, you're saying? What if I play this one and mute this one?
It's just, it's the circle of life.
The circle of life, Mufasa.
It's true.
There's a lot of one-way streets around here.
There's
Holy
a lot
moly.
of one-way streets. Yeah, I'm like, don't put us in some. Although if we go to North Philly, we can go get Max's cheesesteaks. I have no idea how to get there.
Oh, that's too obvious.
I went the other day on the train with Maj, so I
Very
don't know how to
cool.
get there. But don't go to Geno's.
I thought Geno's was
Don't.
the
No,
good place.
Geno's is where they told tourists to go.
Oh, okay.
God. No, Max's. Ask him. Send him a
All right.
message. Ask him about it. He'll tell you. Like, believe me, I know now. That's where you get good slushies too, not Slurpees. Fun fact. Yeah.
Good stuff. Good stuff.
So if I mute this one and then play it over there, do you still hear it? Looking for some feedback. So no feedback. I've got one thumb down, 5 thumbs up, 1 person watching. And they say, yeah, because he doesn't pay. What are they, crazy? Come on.
Charlie's like, Jesus Christ, why did I just
What did I give myself?
why did I pick this one?
But I'm funny.
This is great.
Yeah.
This is great.
I love it when it's easy.
Are you singing Lucy Charlie?
No. The interview.
Here's the deal.
That's the
Doesn't matter how easy these women are because a bunch of women just divided and stayed in a hotel with him. And he said no. So
So
even
even
if
if he's got the easy one,
All right, this is done. We're through. We're done. I'm dropping you off right here. You're out.
see, you can't get rid of me, Charlie, because everybody's like, "What is she back? Because she's really funny."
Right.
Poor Charlie. Let's just remember, Charlie, you just ran a red light. So
I was halfway through. I got the camera to show.
breaking the law,
Breaking the law.
So just for the record, I'm easy. I'm not cheap. Okay. It's gonna cost you.
All right.
That dog is really pretty. Can you see? You get the,
I can
the
see,
thing.
yeah.
Look how beautiful.
The
it
white
is.
dog or the
Yeah.
black dog?
Well, they're cute.
The-
That one's beautiful. Little husky there. Anyway, so
We
what's
should
your
go on
next
husky.
question?
I'm,
Have I totally derailed you?
no, I'm a highly trained professional. So
That's
here's
what she said.
so I'm trying to do a collage of videos. If you had to talk to a non-gun person, what would you somebody that was gun curious?
So
what would you say to win them over?
yeah, that is actually something I'm working on.
Yeah.
I am. Yeah. So I'll tell you a little bit about it because I've already started the process of I did the beta test on that. Here's one of the biggest things that I would want to tell you, based on several months of research, lots of tears, lots of frustration, lots of being talked down to by
Mhm.
people in the gun culture, as well as the positives being very well received, people looking forward to what I'm working on. Do not be discouraged, ladies in particular, if you're going into a store or if you're talked down to. That's a big thing. I have countless stories that have been sent to me of women being treated negatively or less than or stupid or
Right.
I mean one of the women, two of the quotes I have that are really good was one of them says it's as though the gun stores have never left the 50s. And
That's-
another one where a woman said this is how we're going to get our Second Amendment rights taken.
Oof.
So
Those are two awesome quotes.
yeah, and I've got more. I mean, I've got some other many of them from just experiences that women have had, or men whose women have been treated, badly in stores or on ranges. RSOs, I'm coming to find, consistently tend to be a challenge. So back in February, this wasn't even my idea. This actually came from a woman who is. Her husband hunts, and she's very gun supportive, not a community person. Actually quite liberal, actually, this gal, but still very pro 2A. She understands the mental health piece of it as opposed to the gun. She knows it's not the gun. She fierce feminist, this gal, and she gave me the idea for this, and it was just, the inspiration just rolled off her tongue. Well, it hit me, and then I just ran with it. It was great. So. Without giving too many of the details, I can tell you that I'm working on a program that is going to basically change the concept of how gun stores approach their sales.
That sounds really cool.
And there's a whole, believe me when I tell you, because you're going to get a lot of, if you leave this in and you get a lot of comments about it, there's going to be a lot of, well, yeah, but, whatever. And I'm telling you right now, because I can't tell you all the details, I have thought, believe me, I've already been hit with all that. And when I'm done explaining it to the few people that know, they're like, this is great. Because I've thought about it all.
Yeah.
I've thought about every angle, every corner, even gun people that aren't quote unquote culture members. Like you've solved problems we didn't know existed. Like that's how much thought has gone into this. Yeah. So it's being very well received. Cheryl Todd and AZ Firearms is one of my test markets for it. The next one is going to be Edgar with Guns for Everyone, and Edgar and Isaac, which, by the way, you should have him on your show.
All right.
Because he and I had a big conversation about that, something we both agree on, and I can get to that in a minute. But yeah, so when I shared that with so I did one of my We the Female workshops with him, or at his store, 61 women, all women came. Yeah, it was extraordinary. He's got a huge presence in the community with,
Where's
promoting
he
this. He's in Colorado.
Okay.
And he is definitely, he calls himself the Rodney Dangerfield of the gun culture. I'm like, yeah, a little bit. I can see why they like that. So, because this dude is doing amazing things and has been involved in advocacy for long before, what becoming the cool thing. And he just doesn't get acknowledged for it. So, there you go, Edgar. I didn't do it because, he didn't ask me to. Let me just qualify that. But he and I had a big conversation. That was a thing. So anyway, 61 women show up to this class, 100 RSVP.
Wow.
And 61 ended up showing up, standing room only, over 3 hours. And after 2.5 hours, we only lost 15. That's how many stayed.
Oh my
3
gosh.
hours they stood up in the back of the room because they liked my class
That's
and believed in my
amazing.
message, which was cool. And I'll talk about We the Female in a minute. But more importantly, one of the things, and I'm disappointed I didn't get it on camera because I don't tape my classes. This would have been great though. It was, I told them about this. And now remember, these are not gun community, like these are not women that work in the industry. These are not women that are competitive shooters. Some of them were gun owners. A lot of them weren't. And they were there because it can be, my workshop can be done as a CCW class. So that's why they were there.
Cool.
So some of these women had never even held a gun, which was kind of cool.
Wow.
And it was awesome. These are the women I want to reach, right? And I told them about that. And the entire room went up in cheers and applause and everything. So for those of you out there in the gun community, gun culture, gun stores, gun manufacturer, whatever, when I tell you that there is a need for this, please listen to me. And when I approach you with this, particularly if you're a gun store, before you poo-poo me, just hear me out on this, because I've put a lot of work into this. And I know it sounds like I'm trying to pontificate about it, but When I have 61 women in a classroom cheering for me,
That's
that's it. And these
amazing.
are not gun community people, right? Because I've
Right.
received a warm reception there, but these are your customers,
right.
right? This is who, and this is where, like, this is going to sound very feminist, and I know I might shut a lot of people down for this, but I just hear me out when I say this to you. And it's going to sound, I know how it sounds when I say this, but you know, Cheryl Todd and I have had this conversation. The Second Amendment literally lies with women. Women are the purchasing force in this country, right? I mean, we are the primary shoppers,
Yeah.
primary money spenders, and with some exceptions, and this is definitely regional.
Mhm.
But if you think about how many women do you know that hate guns,
Mhm.
whose husband want to have a gun, but those husbands don't have a
But-
gun because the woman doesn't want a gun in the house,
Exactly.
right? So
Exactly.
if you can change the paradigm of the women,
Mm-hmm.
then men, think about it. You guys,
If you can get the
I-
women to get on board.
well, and they don't even
Good
need
to
to own a
go.
gun, but at least just be comfortable having them around. Y'all
Mhm.
got a whole new hobby. I'm just
Totally.
saying.
Totally.
So, and like I said, there are homes that isn't the exception. That does happen, but for the most part, I have found, as I've been interviewing, that's not the case. Furthermore, when a woman walks into a gun store,
Mhm.
if she has a bad experience, she is not going to say, and I know this because I've got the testimonies,
Mhm.
right? Because the testimonies I have are not just women that own guns now; they're women who do not own guns because of the way they were treated or they're
treated.
intimidated. Because I've put this scope out. Being new to this, I've got that bigger platform to glean from.
Mhm.
One woman says, "I would never walk into a gun store because I don't know what I don't know." She said, "I would never walk in without you because I'm scared."
Wow.
So just because she's that intimidated to walk in to begin with.
Mhm.
So if a woman walks into a store and she has a bad experience, she's not going to say,
I had a bad experience. She's
well,
just
it
gonna-
wasn't the gun store. It was, man, those gun people are crazy.
right.
Right. And then she's going to go back to her little coffee club or her, you know,
Yeah.
her mommy and me fitness club or whatever it is. And she's going to talk about her bad experience at the gun store. And then all those women are, oh, I heard that Mary tried to go get a gun. That, you know, those people are just crazy. That's why that's the problem with guns. Those people are crazy, right? I've been in the business of women for 25 years in the day spa. That's how it works. So, and for those women that are watching this and you're going to come at me, y'all know I'm right. Let's just say that. I mean, it's true. And it is what it is.
Mhm.
That being said, you give them the right experience and your store becomes their store. And the minute that somebody loses it,
They're gone.
oh no, if somebody like, oh, I talk about your store, don't you talk about my store. Like they'll become very
Gotcha,
possessive
gotcha.
of that store.
Right.
So there's a few things that I've come to understand being in sales. I have a very successful retail sales to service ratio on my day spa, significantly higher than the industry average, significantly higher. Whether it's moisturizer or a firearm, sales are sales. And
Right.
so, but the gun culture doesn't, it's different, right? Because it's just different.
Mhm.
So my goal is to change sales in stores and how that's approached. So, yeah.
Cool.
So without going into the details of how that's done.
Yeah, you can't let the cat out of the bag.
Well, and my thing is I would love to at some point, bring other people in, because for me, it's about changing the paradigm of the industry
Mhm.
and the hearts of women, and to make them comfortable to be safe. So I have no problem doing that. I just, if it's going to be done, I want to execute it the way
That you want to
that
do.
I would like to see it. But yeah, I have no problem.
That's a good exercise of feminism. It's your thing. It's
Yeah.
your plan. You want it done the way you want it.
I want it done the way I want it done, but that doesn't mean I'm not willing to share that and
Right.
bring people in
You
to
wanna
make
have
that
it-
successful.
Yeah, totally.
Because it's a matter of changing it for women and men, really. Because this isn't, I mean, I've had men, I know men that say, I don't go to other gun stores because they're assholes, and they don't want to go because of that. So
Right.
it's not just a woman thing. It just happens to be more predominant with women.
Mhm.
So, yeah. So,
Cool. All right, we need to start wrapping things up. How can people find you and all of your stuff?
well, I'll tell you briefly about We the Female, because we never actually got to that.
we never got to that.
So We the Female is the nonprofit that I created that is not gun centric. It is actually teaches situational awareness, personal security,
Mhm.
and accepting personal responsibility for your own safety. Guns are actually a very small part of what that is. I personally am a 2A advocate. So Carrie Sloan is a 2A advocate.
Yeah.
We, the female, teaches women just how to be safe and wants to encourage them to learn how to be safe. So we
Right.
teach, not only do I teach situational awareness, de-escalation, conflict resolution, most situations where you're going to need to defend yourself in, you're more often than not, you're going to be able to actually get yourself out of the situation
Right.
before you even need to defend yourself.
Mm,
Your
that's-
defense tool should always be plan Z. And so, and we talk about that. And so not only do we talk about that, I start to teach them how to train their minds to start thinking with a defensive mindset, as opposed to like dude that almost got hit because he was
Because he
standing
was
in
on
the
his
street.
phone. Right.
Yeah, and he was on his phone with his headphones in, and he wasn't paying attention. So,
Mhm.
and how to live your life like that, and to teach you how you can live your life like that without being paranoid. And then we go into ways that you do that. We go through some examples.
Mhm.
I literally get into even things about being aware. Do you know how to get out of Target? If you're in a Target, how many exits are in a Target? If you're at Disneyland, do you look at the map because it's for the next ride, or have you taken 10 minutes with your family to just stop at the beginning and say,
Map it out.
this is, if we need to get out of here, this is where we need to go. Those little things are what I teach, and I put that in minds, and I'm blown away when everybody goes, oh, I never thought about that.
Mm.
Like, or, oh yeah, I thought about that, but, and they never, but just make those things a habit. And the minute that you do, it gets kind of matrixy too.
Yeah.
Which is weird, because we've been living our lives like this forever. My husband does this for like companies, right? This is kind of his thing, is security. Yeah. So you'll get a little paranoid when you first start thinking that way, but
Right.
eventually that'll go away. But it'll get super matrixy. Like you'll be, airports are the best. You're like,
my
whoa,
gosh.
man, these people are a mess, and you just want to stay away from everybody in the airport because they're just clueless. Anyway, so that's what we teach. We do go briefly over what your self-defense options are, because
Mhm.
not all people are going to be comfortable with a gun, and that is okay, even though I believe it is the best option personally.
Yeah.
I understand that not everybody is going to be okay with a gun, and I do not want somebody owning a firearm that is not comfortable having one in their hand.
Yeah, of course.
That is not a good idea. So we do an overview of all of the different options, the pros and the cons, and stress the importance of training with all of those pieces, and why that's important. And then we go over whatever state we're in, whatever the
What
gun
the
laws
laws
are
are,
in those
process
states,
to
which
get
is why we can
licensed.
use it as a
That's cool.
CCW class as well. So, and that's a nonprofit. My long-term vision is being able to partner with organizations that can to do outreach to domestic violence victims, single mothers.
Mm.
Single mothers are one of the of the micro economics of the fastest growing demographic being women. Of that, it's single mothers in cities and stuff, because of single mothers are a much higher divorce rates and stuff. So there's a much greater need and demand for
a mama
single
bear.
moms to be armed. So
Yeah.
so those are the outreach I try to get to, and encourage people that bring me in to their states or whatever to work with.
Mhm.
And then for me, because I happen to be an advocate in the gun culture, I have had the fortune of being connected with extraordinary women and men that are instructors. So for those people that are interested in firearms and wanting to learn that as their safety piece, then I am in a position to connect them with an instructor to be able
That's
to teach
totally
them.
cool.
Yeah.
Girl, you
So,
got
and
a
I
lot
like
going
to.
on.
I do have a lot going on. That's why I had to quit my job.
Good.
That, and I'm a kind of a pariah. They don't like the G word. We call it. It's a
G
vulgar word, guns. So, but you know what? I would do it all again. I was ready to retire. I'd set myself up early for retirement, to retire early, I should say. And so I've been very grateful that I've been in a position to be able to do what I'm doing now earlier than I plan to retire. But I self-fund this, which is, it's a lot, but that's okay. I knew going in that I would, which is why I'm creating business opportunities around it to be able to fund, like the gun store thing. That'll actually, its sole purpose of being created, not only is just to change the paradigm for that, but is to fund Be the Female and getting these education pieces out there for women.
Cool.
So Stilettos and Shotguns is my personal
Stilettos and
Instagram,
Shotguns, yeah.
Facebook. I have YouTubes. I'm going to get better about YouTube. So if you go to my YouTube, y'all will be like, yo, you're crazy.
Mhm.
I promise you that'll get better.
All right. Cool.
And then We the Female _official on Instagram. And then We the Female on Facebook and YouTube. Again, I do gun reviews on there actually and y'all are gonna hate me, and I'm like the gun people are like, you should see the trolls. Some of those things people say are terrible
Right.
because I go on a rant about a Taurus and looking like a toy. But and oh, you should see some of the things people called me. It's awful. The point of those is I am a mom with a gun. I'm not a shooter, and so we are out in the desert. I'm with an NRA certified instructor, in the desert. With the with a camera, like everything is everything is safe,
totally.
even though you're looking at this going, oh, you're sweeping and you're doing this, but that's the point. I don't know what I'm doing.
Right.
Now, interestingly enough, I don't do that anymore because I have since learned. I don't know the language of the gun. I don't know this. And I literally want women watching these to be comfortable because they don't know guns, right? All these reviews, everything that's out there for guns is, they're from people that have guns, and they're using the language or the technicals or this or that. And my girlfriend, I sent her out to watch these, who's the one that won't go into stores, and she says, I couldn't watch it. I was overwhelmed. She watched online. She says, oh, she goes, I totally get that because my nails are long, right? I mean, it's that thing. And I know that seems ridiculous to people in the gun industry, but that's who you're marginalizing.
Right.
So I started doing some of these reviews. I'll be doing more. It's interesting because my language changes, right? Because I'm learning. So it's kind of cool because you're walking that journey with me of literally learning what a dovetail is and a beaver tail, and that's actually really, it's a matter of time was the difference in why they're called that. You know what I mean? All these kind of whatever. So so those are on the YouTube, and we'll continue with those. But
awesome.
Yeah, so that's where you can find me. WeTheFemale.net is where you can find where you can donate, and if you donate $35 or more, we send you a free t-shirt.
Awesome.
Which is kind of cool. And then there's also a form. There's some of my speeches are on there that I've given at our Capitol and other places, roundtables and things. You can also, there's a form. So if you want to bring me to your state, you can do that.
Cool.
You can fill out that form and we get that. WherePrettyMeetsGritty.com.
Pretty Meets Gritty.
Cheryl Todd and I were in Arizona heading to a place, and it was on the side of the wall, and she was, that's you. So we took a picture underneath it, and we decided that's stilettos and shotguns. That's kind of my tagline, my logo. So We the Female's taken because it was a nail polish color. Or not a nail polish color, excuse me. Yeah, I'm sorry. We the Female was taken. Stilettos and shotguns, I can't get.com.
Gotcha.
Somebody's got it as a blog. But you can edit that out if you want or whatever. Anyway, so it'll be, so all of the Homo stilettos and shotguns will be, we're going to be doing that this week, is Where Pretty Meets Gritty.
That's cool.
.com. And so she'll have merchandise
cool
available soon, including the All Gun Control is Sexist shirt, which is the collaboration with Black Guns Matter and Maj Toure.
Yeah, we'll put a picture on for that.
Oh, thank you very much. Those will be coming out here pretty soon. I just took one in front of the Capitol building today. That was great. I can send you to. Or the one with Maj is good too. So you'll be able to get that shirt there, as well as some other merchandise that we're going to be coming out with, all of which will fund our cause to get We the Female and get that voice out for women to keep them safe.
Cool.
So, yeah.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for having me.
A blast.
I hope so. People are going to think, oh, great. You let her loose on that.
Hang tight. We still have to drive you back to the apartment, the hotel.
Oh, we do? Where am I at?
We're not far.
Oh, okay.
Anyway, listen, thank you for watching Riding Shotgun with Charlie. Please like and share. Watch it on YouTube. Listen to it on Apple Podcasts, iTunes, on Spotify, on iHeartRadio. You can also check out all of the other great shows on the Self Defense Radio Network. SDRN.us is where you can find those. You're going to find all of Carrie Sloan's stuff because she is kick-ass, I think is the right word.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
So we will see you guys next time on Riding Shotgun with Charlie. Thanks for watching.
Bye.
Easy.
So I don't know if the audio even worked for that. Got some feedback out there. 2 people watching, so that's me and somebody else. All right, well, so it's about an hour. We've still got some work to do here, just tidying up one of the history project things, and nobody's really commenting. Nobody's joining in on the actual chat, so we'll wrap it up with that. Keep doing stuff or don't. It's everybody's option, right? So applications out there. Have a good day.